Good morning, students. In the last class of this chapter, we have discussed these things in a brief manner. Now today we shall discuss all these things in a detailed way with the notes. Like in the earlier class also we have focused on this point. Like the first one is the symptoms. Symptoms means there is an evidence, and that evidence due to the presence of some abnormalities of the body part or the body functions, and it is manifested by the individual. That is the symptoms of the disease. Depending on that symptoms of the disease, the physician, the doctor diagnose the disease, but there is some difficulties while they observing the symptoms, as because there are several types of diseases and the symptom is similar. Like when we talking about the fever, when we talking about the other stress, or if also there is a problem in the eye sight, then there is a maybe headache. But this the problem, the symptom is the headache, but the headache is due to the fever, due to the stress, examination stress like for you, or due to the some eye problem. How it will be ensured that the symptom which manifested or that indicates by the patient may be due to the fever, maybe due to the stress, maybe due to the eye problem, or maybe other reasons also. And that is why after the symptom there is a sign that it is more and definite indication of the presence of a disease. And furthermore, if from the symptoms, from the sign, if the physician unable to diagnose the disease, they may advise for the lab test. So all these three things, like the symptoms, like the signs, like the pathological investigations, all these three things may able to ensure the possible presence of a definite a particular type of disease. That is here. Next, in the next part of the lesson, the acute and chronic disease. In the earlier class also we have discussed this one, as because depending upon the severity and the duration, the disease may be the acute and chronic. The disease which can impact temporarily and the severity may be greater, but the duration is less. Like the common cold and cough, it is maybe it may lasted only for 2 or 3 days, and may the individual or the patient recovered immediately. There is no any bad impact on the body parts. There is no any damage done to the organ or the parts of the body. That is the acute. And while we are talking about the chronic disease, that means long lasting disease, and it can impact on the body part, and it can damage the system or the organ, and it can may last for a longer period of time. And if there is a chronic disease, the individual who is suffering from the chronic disease may be bedridden, they are not able to do their everyday work, the routine work normally, and due to that reason there is a poor health. All these things we can may see in this part of the lesson. And here the next point is the causes of the disease, in which we have also seen that while we are talking about the causes, we are searching about the causes of the disease, then there are some possibilities like immediate causes, that is due to the some biological factors like the pathogen or some other factors, that is known as the immediate causes of the disease. Like when you have seen in the last class that I have given you example, a baby who is suffering from loose motion. Why the baby is suffering from loose motion? As because due to the viral infection, and that viral is the immediate cause. And that virus, why the baby suffered from that virus? As because due to the unclean or contaminated drinking water. And when we furthermore about to know what are the reasons for that unclean drinking water, then there is many several answers are coming. And also while we talking about the other factors which are responsible for suffering for that particular baby, then we will find out that there are some other reasons also, that is the contributory causes. Like when there are so many babies are there in that locality where the particular baby has the problem, but the other baby didn't. Why? As because the other baby has a good immunity capability, and this baby who is suffering, he or she is not well nourished, and due to the malnutrition, that this is the contributory causes. Why there is a malnutrition? As because they belongs to a poor family, and if there is a poor family, he belonging to the poor family, then there is some economical reason also. And why in that area the unclean drinking water supply? Then it is the community level. We are talking about the community level, that the corporation or the municipality which are responsible for supplying of water in that area not supply good water, the pure water, and that is why these are the contributory reasons, or the secondary level of the causes of the disease. And later on, at the last, we will talk about the infectious and non-infectious diseases. The diseases may be caused by several pathogens, or due to some microorganisms or the other organism like the virus, bacteria, protozoa, fungi, and the other which are not microorganisms like the worms. And that is the infectious, that may communicate from one person to another. And another diseases are maybe non-infectious, which are not caused by any biological factor, which are not caused by any microorganism or the microbes or the pathogens, and they cannot transmit person to person. They are not communicable. So we will all discuss this thing one by one. First, look the definitions of the symptoms and signs. The definition of symptoms: evidences that indicate the malfunctioning of the body parts or the entire body are called symptoms. Just I have told you earlier, like the fever, headache, stomach, dehydration, vomiting, these are the symptoms. But symptoms cannot find out a particular or a definite indication of a disease, as because there are several diseases and the symptom is a single one. Like in case of the blood pressure, in case of the fever, in case of the examination stresses, in case of the some eyesight problem, there is only one symptom, that is the headache. But after that, there is some little bit more further indication, the presence of the diseases and the evidences, that is the signs, the definite indications that provide information about the presence of a particular disease are called signs of a disease. Physicians, not only depending upon these two, the third one, physicians will also get laboratory tests done to pinpoint the disease further. So here are these three different aspects to find out, to diagnose a particular type of disease which are present in the individual.